Why have you kept a bay in the wedding service?
Well, for that reason. I think it's in the service. And perhaps because I'm rather an old-fashioned girl.
The Dean said the other day that the Princess Anne says a bay and I have to say worship, so I think pays the money, takes a choice.
You seem on the surface to be a very shy person. It's not every day one proposes to a princess. Did it require a lot of courage to propose?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think the fact that the girl in question is a princess makes any difference at all. I think if you get married to somebody, it's a very, very personal thing, and the two of you just feel it, and it's a completely natural.
I think you've got to be brave to propose to anybody, haven't you?
Yeah.
Perhaps it becomes relatively more important. But I rather hope that, every time he spoke to me or took me out, that he can actually think of me as a princess.
Do you think you'll make a good housewife? Can you cook, for example?
Well, that's hardly up to me to say either.
Scrambled eggs, I think you recommend it.
Yes, I've done a bit of cooking myself.
Would you like to cook Captain Phillips' breakfast before he goes off to work, for example?
I can manage that. It's easy. Especially when it's eventing because you're not going to get more than a cup of coffee.
Can you sew? Can you put sew on a button?
Yes, I'm not totally useless. I was quite well educated, one way and another.
Does the press really annoy you?
Yes, I think Yes, I think it does. I think it wouldn't really be doing its job if it wasn't.
Would you say there was a complete antipathy between you and the press?
No, not complete, because I think one tries to, and I think one does understand what they're doing there and why they're doing it. One doesn't quite so often understand the end result.
I spoke to a reporter who was at that notorious fence at Kiev, and he told me that all the photographers and reporters waiting there for you to come to that particular fence were willing you to get over. They really wanted you to get over, and you didn't succeed. And when you came off, you came across to them and said words to the effect, well, I hope you've got the picture you wanted, which upset them a great deal.
Well, put it this way, I didn't exactly deviate from my path to say anything. I couldn't walk back to the box very easily. For a start, I hadn't got a leg to stand on. I had the horse had to be led back, and they were all over the place. I didn't have to go anywhere. But let's face it, I got very wound up. I fairly well wanted to get over that fence. Okay, one says things one regrets it, but under the heat of the moment, one was a very disappointed person at that particular moment in time, and they were all over the place. All over the place, just trying to get a picture of yours truly in tears. I wasn't actually in tears. I was merely trying to get me and my horse back to the box. And one could hardly get the horse to walk forward with so many of them all around them. And I had to have one of the German competitors had to walk beside me to stop them actually sort of bowling into me.
But did you really feel that they didn't want you to succeed at that point?
No, because, how can one possibly assess one's feelings at the time? At the time, one was merely conscious of the fact that they were all there, and this was the picture they were after.
And looking ahead, have you been offered a peerage?
No.
Would you accept one if you were offered one?
That's a hypothetical question. I don't talk about it.
When you were a teenager, did you have any idea of the sort of girl that you would like to marry?
No, I didn't. I wasn't very clever with girls, I don't think, when I was a teenager. I definitely was a bit, not very good. Not very successful, should I say.
Well, if you had not met a man whom you wanted to marry, do you think you would have married out of a sense of duty?
No way.
I'm tempted to.
No, I don't think, Mr. Heavens, no.